Hi, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to divide whole numbers using the partial quotients or doghouse strategy when you have a two-digit divisor. So we're going to start it the same way as we did with the single-digit divisor by drawing our doghouse and putting our divisor on the outside and our dividend inside, just like this. Okay, and so we're going to start the same way by saying, will 17 go into 5? Of course not. 17 is larger than 5. But will 17 go into 56? It will. But we don't know our 17 facts off the top of our head. So then we have to list out our multiples. And so we know that multiplication is the same as repeated addition. So one strategy that I like to use for listing multiples is to just use repeated addition, and I'm going to show that. So 17 times 1 is 17. So I'm just going to put 17 and circle it. Now to figure out 17 times 2, I can simply just add 17 to 17 like this. 7 plus 7 is 14, 34. So 17 times 2 is 34. So I'm just going to circle that. Okay. So notice I'm not quite to 56 yet. So I'm going to keep going and see what 17 times 3 would be. 7 plus 4 is 11. 3, 4, 5. So 51. 17 times 3 is 51. So 51 is only 5 less than 56. So we know that 3 is going to be our first digit of our partial quotient. So 17 times 3 is 51. And notice I can just count my circles to see that. 1, 2, 3 is 51. But we can't forget to put our smiley faces to hold our place. There are 2 digits that we didn't circle, so I need 2 placeholders here. Same here, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to subtract. So then I get 9, 3, 5. So I have 539. So now I have to see, will 17 go into 5? No. Will 17 go into 53? It will. And it's actually going to be another 17 times 3 because 17 times 3 is 51. So I'm going to put 3 here again, but this time I just need 1 placeholder because I have 1 digit that was not circled. So 17 times 3 is 51. So I'm going to subtract 51 with 1 placeholder. 9 minus 0 is 9. 3 minus 1 is 2. So I have 29. Now, will 17 go into 29? It will, because 29 is larger than 17. So I'm going to circle the 29. 17 will go into 29 how many times? Just once, because 2 times is too large. So I'm just going to put a 1 here. 17 times 1 is 17. And we're going to subtract. And we're going to get 9 minus 7 is 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. So we have a remainder of 12. We can add up these numbers to get these are our partial quotients. We can add those to get our total quotient of 331 with a remainder of 12. Just like that. Okay, so now I need to multiply to check. So I can multiply 331 times 17 to check my answer, and then add the 12. And we would hopefully get this dividend. So I'm going to do that here. So we're just going to do 331 times 17. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 3 is 21. Plus 2 is 23. Then we're moving over. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. So we're going to add that up. And we get 5,627. Now we have to go back and add our 12 that was in our remainder. And we're going to get 5,639. So we did solve this correctly. All right, so I'm going to do one more example of a partial quotient problem that has a double-digit divisor. And so the key with this is really just making sure you list out your multiples correctly, because I've noticed that's where it's easiest to make the mistake. So this time we're going to do 64,695 divided by 62. Okay, so I'm going to set it up the same way. Okay, and so then I can just go ahead and dive right in and start. Will 62 go into 64? It will, because it's less than 64. So I'm going to circle the 64. We know 62 times 1 is 62, which is only 2 less than this. So it's just going to go in one time. So I'm going to put my 1 here with 3 smiley faces to hold my place. Just like this. So now I'm going to multiply. 62 times 1 is 62 with 3 smiley faces to hold my place, just like this. And then I'm going to subtract. 5 minus 0 is 5. 9 minus 0 is 9. 6 minus 0 is 6. 64 minus 62 is 2. Okay? So then I need to see if 62 will go into 26, and it will not. 62 will go into 269. But how much? We don't know. So now we need to add 62 multiple times to find the multiples that get us closest to 269, but not over. So 62 times 1 is 62, so I'm going to circle that. 62 times 2. I can find that by just adding another 62 to this. 62 plus 62 is 124. That doesn't really get us too close, so I need to keep going. Just going to repeatedly add 62 to find the next multiple. 4 times 2, or 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 times plus 2 is 8. 1. So we're at 186. So that's still not super close. We need to keep going. So now we're going to be finding 62 times 4. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 6 is 14. So 248. Okay. So that's pretty close, but let's keep going just to make sure. 8 plus 2 is 10. 6 plus 4 is 10 plus 1 is 11. So that's 310, so that's too much. So 62 times what is closest to 269 without going over? That would be 62 times 1, 2, 3, 4. 62 times 4 is 248, but we need one placeholder because we have one digit that we didn't circle. And so we need a placeholder here as well. And so now we're just going to subtract. So 5 minus 0 is 5. 9 minus 8 is 1. 6 minus 4 is 2. So now we have 215. And so 62 won't go into 21. So we're going to have to circle this whole thing. Now, 62 will go into 215 how many times? If we look at these, what's closest to 215 without going over? 62 times 1, 2, 3 is 186. So that's the closest without going over. So then we just need to multiply 62 times 3, which is 186, and we're going to subtract. So take that away, make that a 0. 15 minus 6 is 9. Then 20 minus 8. So 29 is my remainder. Now I need to add up these partial quotients to get my final quotient. 1,043. Just like this. So we have to make sure we watch our place values, especially on problems like this. So our quotient is 1,043 with a remainder of 29. Okay, so now I need to multiply to check. And that remainder is 29 there. So I'm going to multiply to check. I'm going to multiply 1,043 times 62 to check and see. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 4 is 24. Plus 1 is 25. 6 times 0 is 0. Plus 2 is 2. And 6 times 1 is 6. So I need to add. Okay, so far I've got 64,666. Now I need to add my 29 remainder that I had to see if I get our dividend. 6 plus 9 is 15. 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so 64,695 is our dividend, so we did solve this problem correctly. So that is how you solve whole number division problems with the partial quotients or the doghouse strategy.